My name is Moon Petri, and this is not advice. This is simply what I have done when seeking and organizing beta feedback, and what I think has worked well and what not so much. So, first, when I have sent documents to people, I have made individual Google Docs for each person. Now, the most recent time that I have sent these out, I have sent a quarter of the book, which is, probably averaging 21 or so thousand words each quarter of the book. So, for documents for each beta reader, and I have never organized feedback from more than, I think, 7 at a time. And this whole thing would totally fall apart if I was trying to deal with feedback from more people than that. But I don't know that more than that all at once would be that helpful anyway. I think it might just be overwhelming. So, regardless, that's a lot of documents, even if you only have 3 or 4 beta readers with 4 individual documents each. And I have put questions at the end of each chapter, where people can either add a comment or just type right into the text of the document. And people have added comments elsewhere about concern or just something they really liked. The questions that I have included at the end of each chapter are mostly about predictions, expectations, or how they feel about, because this book has 2 POV characters. So, how are they feeling about the POV character of that chapter? And so I have these lots of documents, and I work in Google Docs most of the time because it autosaves and because I'm switching back and forth between a desktop PC and my iPad. So that makes finding a word processing program challenging, except for Google Docs. I don't love Google Docs, but I love enough things about it that I use it most of the time. So, what I have done before and what I am embarking upon now is created another document. And I have gone through all the feedback from an individual and written it out chapter by chapter. So Michelle chapter 1, Michelle chapter 2, Michelle chapter 3, until I've dealt with all of the feedback from Michelle, and then I go through the feedback from Joey, and underneath Michelle chapter 1, I put Joey chapter 1 and everything that he said. And thanks, by the way, Michelle and Joey and everybody else. So I end up with a pretty extensive document, and it has taken a good while to compile said document. So I do not think this is a tremendously efficient way to go about this process. However, I end up with something I can print out, which is great because I don't know that there is a way. If there is, I certainly haven't found it, to have multiple Google Docs open on an iPad. I could have even split screen if I put it in a Notes app or something else instead. But what I've done is print it out. And I do like to have something to hold on to because I'm old fashioned. And I also like to be able to check things off because I find that very satisfying. So then I go to chapter 1. Oh, another thing I should say, if there's anything that's sort of overarching, I will put that at the beginning of the document. Work on the dynamic between these two characters throughout the whole thing. That is harder to keep track of while actually revising. And just, keep checking the general lists before looking at each chapter. But I go through the chapter and I try to address everything that everyone said. That doesn't mean you have to take every piece of advice. And sometimes there will be completely conflicting recommendations. I love this line, I hated this line, and you just got to go with your gut. But making sure to consider every piece from everyone throughout that one chapter and then moving on. So that has been my process. I would love any ideas or suggestions from anyone else who maybe feels that their process or a process that they have seen someone else's video on would be more efficient. Efficiency is not generally my main concern. I like this way because it feels thorough and because it feels hands-on, but I'm willing to consider steps I could take to streamline. So if you have a video on your process of organizing beta feedback, or if you have a recommendation of somebody else's video that I should watch, please leave a note to me down below in the comments. I would love to know. Until next time, I am Moon Petri. Thank you so much to my beta readers.